Maracuya, hello. I've lost track of days, and this is not Monday, but it's been a while since my last video, so I figured I would get back to it. Right now, we're doing it. So I am going to use the metaphor of pipes today because it just keeps coming up for me. I keep finding myself behind plumbers with interesting branding, like a yogi sitting in lotus position that's a plumber, or vortex plumbing, or on and on. I just think it's a really good metaphor that source, all that is, the universe, the field, everything that exists before you arrived and will continue on after this form falls away, that is constantly sending you goodness. It's constantly letting the sun to shine. It's constantly keeping the earth in orbit, spinning, the tides rolling in, the waves crashing. It's never ending. It's the statistical probability of you being born is so tiny. Everything that had to happen from your great 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 grandparents, meet cute, to the number, I know this is kind of gross, but like the sperm count, the chances of you being you are freaky small. And that's amazing to have gratitude that you're here. And also, life is really hard. I've been grappling with death recently, and um, the idea of losing people, whether they be friends or collaborators that you knew that are not with us anymore, or a family member. And, under the age of like 120, I think it's always going to feel like something's gone horribly wrong and really tragic and really sad when someone is no longer here with us. But that's not really for us mortals to know or understand, I guess, why certain people have their time that they leave this world. But I was thinking about someone who I loved who passed away recently, and I was on a hike in the park, and this beautiful hummingbird just showed up and kind of hovered there, and it was like a sign. Yeah, the this form isn't the end. So anyway, source, the universe, the field, it exists everywhere, and it's always being sent to you. Abraham talks about you ask and it's given, and our job is just to let it in, because the world is always going to throw contrasts at us, throw things at us that we can't control. We think we can control, but the harder you try to grip something, the worse it is, and you have to let go. And that's where we get back to our plumbers and our pipes. So if you have a bunch of gunk in your pipe, it's hard to receive a clean signal coming through. If there's a bunch of rocks and dirt and mildew and it's never been cleaned out, you're not going to get a clean enough signal. Or if you're looking out a window and it's a bright sunny day, but the window is completely filthy, you're only getting part of that reception. And I think that when we are stressed out, or we're worried about the outcome of something, or we think, why don't I have this thing? Why am I experiencing this continual problem? Why did something go wrong? Why didn't this work out the way I thought it would? The more that we're trying to control and predict what's happening and make sense of the moment, which could just really purely be chaos, the more we're trying to hold on to something that is not hold onable, the more crap we're throwing into the pipe that is, gosh, this is a gross analogy, but the more rocks and debris and stuff that we're putting into the pipe. And I think when we take time to meditate, to quiet our minds, to not be fixated on what's going wrong, to sleep, to take a walk, to call an old friend, to listen to something that sparks your curiosity or imagination, to just play, just take a break. The more that we can find things to reconnect us, the more that allows that debris to settle, get cleared out. And then when you are in a good vibe, in a good feeling spot, you're going to think to call the person at the exact right moment, or this opportunity is going to become aware to you. You're going to have a vision that's crystal clear. And it comes to you when you're not trying to figure out what it is. If you've ever played trivia where there's a time constraint and you're trying to like remember the name of that band, it can be so hard and it can feel really unpleasant, where if you are just in a more relaxed state, it just comes to you. And living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is a beautiful thing, because if you have ADD or you have anxiety or you have the need to be busy, you have the need to do something, it is really active to stay in the feeling of, this is where I want to go, this is the feeling of freedom I want to feel, this is the freedom of health I want to feel, this is the abundance to be able to have good people and friends and colleagues and all of that around me. Finding yourself in that feeling does take energy, because sometimes you want to live like a millionaire, but if you look in your bank account and there's not $1 million there, well, it's just not helpful to think like that. But what is being a millionaire going to mean? You know, for me, I think it's the ability to travel easily, the ability to eat the kind of things that I like, the ability to drive a nice vehicle or sleep in a comfortable bed. And a lot of those things I can experience right now in this moment. I'm traveling around the big state of California. I'm driving a great vehicle. I slept for the first time in many nights, like more than 6 hours, which is just a lesson I've got to learn, to stop trying so hard and working so hard. But it can be difficult when there's a lot that needs to get done and you're not sure how it's going to pan out if it doesn't get done, and there goes the sleep. But then it's just really like trying to swim with your hands tied behind your back, because you need that time to recharge and to chill and to not even be worried about it, for the synchronicities and the solutions to present themselves to you. So just realize it's already done. You already are that person who has manifested everything you want. A lot of people think that time exists like a loaf of bread, where it all already exists: the past, the future, the present. There's multiple timelines, where in one timeline you are in chronic pain, and in another timeline you are feeling fit and healthy, and in one timeline you are experiencing financial insecurity, and in another you are stable and able to be generous and feel very settled in your finances, and it's easy. Money's easy. You don't have to worry about it. And so you can only see one slice at a time of reality. But by training your thoughts and your mind and your energy to be in a state of trust and a state of flow, that what you want is coming to you, it already exists. You just need to dial your receiver, your frequency, to the frequency of what it is that you are hoping to attract into your life. Stay with that feeling and have gratitude for all of the amazing things that are already within you. You already have everything you need to succeed, to be happy, to experience peace now, right now. And the more that you can stay in an ease and a gratitude and a allowing it to unfold, the smoother the ride is and less gunk in the pipes. And it's sometimes hard to stay in that, especially when it feels like there's a crisis, whether that be in the government level or personal tragedy or whatever. But I'm sure it will all make sense someday. And we're here learning lessons and exploring contrasts and ups and downs. And the more we can stay in that flow and trust that everything we need is coming to us, the more it's going to be a beautiful ride. So I hope that was helpful for you. And if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, maybe share it. And till next time, maracuya!